You know, as I sit here, sometimes I wonder why the hell I put myself through these experiences. Because today is going to be a special encounter. Welcome back to Celestial Legacy, by the way. This is the last optional thing in the entire game, by the way. So, side quest skippers, get ready. We're going back to the main story soon. But we're also going to have to fight 12 bosses. But anyway, it is time to take on the last optional thing in the entire game. What essentially amounts to the game's superboss. The guide suggests you are level 55 plus for this. Yeah, I am not. There is one additional thing I do want before we go in here, and it is part of my strategy. Divine Light revives the party if we use it. So I'm going to teach it now. Now, this fight is awful. This is a boss fight that has its own limit break gauge. And if you manage to get its limit off, it will basically unleash its inner Exodia and kill your whole party via Obliterate. The only way to getting around this is having a way to either not take damage or through having a Phoenix Ring. For my current strategy, I've given up on the Barrette for the first time ever to give Phoebe the Aurora armor, because this suit has all the elemental attacks, so I want to have as much resistance as possible. Phoebe is the only member of the party I gave a Phoenix Ring to, which will revive her one time only if she manages to go down. She also had the ribbon to avoid all ailments, and most debuffs, because we know that slow isn't affected by the ribbon. Doesn't protect you from slow. I gave her the Mace of Zeus, specifically just in case I don't need her to do a support action, she can just click Flare. We'll have a chance of clicking Flare, but you know what I mean. This boss has insane stats, so basically, Malice here, our boy, has one job. He has a person ring to block, to have elemental damage, he has our second ribbon, and he has one job and he does it really well. It's called Click Flare until the boss is dead. Meanwhile, Zeltat is our secondary attacker. Because I don't have more than 2 ribbons, I have to give him accessories to block the most volatile ailments that could screw him over, like Berserk, Confuse, and Blind. Everything else doesn't matter as long as we get our buff up immediately. And he also has the Force Armor to block most annoying elements. It sucks to only have 1 Force Armor, so we're kind of stuck with it. Garrett is basically just secondary support because I don't have much. He has the Crusader Helm. So because I don't have any other armor that just straight up blocks ailments, and we don't have a shield that blocks more than 1 element, so I'm better off just not even bothering. He also has stuff to block ailments that would screw him over, and since the Crusader Helm also already blocks Blind, I don't need anything else. Garrett's job is basically just set up hemorrhages and then start buffing. If the boss uses Hopelessness to destroy our stat buffs and turn them into debuffs, we can just nullify them with Zeltat. But basically the main goal is Zeltat and Malice will just attack as often as physically possible. Phoebe will be on support duty and she'll slap the boss with Flare if she can get a chance to, and Garrett will be on support duty primarily. If this strategy doesn't work, I do have a secondary plan that involves just pulling Phoenix Rings on everyone, and then tanking the inevitable explosion when he obliterates me, like Exodia. Now, before we go in, I unfortunately had to talk about one party member who I've actively been talking shit about the whole game, who actually is viable. You know who we're gonna bring up, Ray. So, despite me talking shit about Ray this entire game, well, ever since we got her, because she's actually bad, she's objectively the worst character in the game, she has one good thing going for her that would actually help you in this fight. Her Radiance Limit Break protects her from all damage. This includes Obliterate, meaning that she could essentially sit there and at the cost of 2 Limit Break gauges, tank his most powerful attack and take no damage. She could be a support unit if she actually had skills to support with. I wish Ray was like a jack-of-all-trades character, but no, she's not. She's bad. She's objectively shit. She requires 2 limit break gauges to be even slightly viable. It's not worth it. Anyway, let's get the show on the road. Now, in order to do this fight, we have had to go through and defeat all the other slimes. So we just go through, present all our proofs, and at the end of this, we will meet our greatest enemy. Now, I know I could use Holy, but honestly, if I use the staff to try and hit flares, then I'm not paying any MP for that. They're basically free. I don't have to use MP that I'm going to be using for support actions for Holy. Also, we get more Face Shrine. I honestly already forgot how many of these freaking dudes we fought. Well, I guess... Okay, I think this is the last one. So that means beyond here should be... Yep, this is it. Saving another slot. It's just a regular slime. Verily, I have felt this moment would arrive. Thy powers must be truly incredible. Thou hast cunning and might to be the elemental shapers. What's with all the slimes? Slimes, thou call us? A jest, surely. A slight which means little. We are the true lords and masters of this world. Really? You look like slimes to me. Appearances can be deceiving. Our powers control and shape the very forces which coalesce into all the matter and energy that thou hast taken for granted. I read the text in the shrines. There is a shape for each element, right? Read the text. 'Tis true, though one element in particular was omitted, whose power cannot be comprehended by mortals, such as thyself. That element is truth. Truth? Something like that can be controlled? Indeed, the manipulation of truth and reality. This is a feat which can only be accomplished by a Veromancer, and only one such being exists. Let me guess, you. Correct. I sense thy desire to challenge my power despite the futility. I have been watching thy progress for some time. Thy thirst for power is such that mayhap even the wide sea hath too few drops to slake it. Wait, what? Oh, okay, there we go. Entering combat against me will be thine undoing, shouldst thou be ill-prepared. Alright. Okay, so they give you a chance to save. Alright, good. At least this isn't like the fucking boss in Shattered Hourglass, where he just fucks you over by forcing you into a second fight immediately with no break. Alright, let's do it. Very well. And God! You better have epic music. Of course, it's final. Twister. Holy shit! He just killed me immediately! And I already lost my Phoenix Ring. Oh, also Garrett is dead. Dispel. Okay. Let's revive Garrett immediately. Holy shit though, he one-shot me. Oh, I'm dead. Holy speed! What the fuck is that? He's so fast! Alright, well, I'm gonna have to nearly die immediately. Alright, so, let's hemorrhage. And then we are gonna have to Divine Light immediately. Gore. Yikes. Okay, that hurts. And, okay, well, I had no stats. Okay. Dude, he's so fucking fast. Alright, let's try to walk. Alright, mouse attack. Dude, he hurts so much. Alright, I need to heal badly. Use our biggest heal possible. Okay, that's always 1,000 HP. I think the only saving grace here is the fact that because he's doing such insane amounts of... Are you kidding me? Because he's doing such insane amounts of damage to me all at once. I'm building up limit breaks faster and faster and I'm losing them. Alright, I'm gonna change my plan entirely. We're gonna set up Fortitude. Just so we can reduce the damage we take. Do I have Spell Shield? Alright, I'm actually gonna use the Spell Shield. And then Hemorrhage him again. But as you can see, he has his own meter. 1,000 heals always does 1,000 HP. We need to get his health down enough so that way his meter goes to 0. Okay. Alright, Zeltaf. Start lowering his stat. And then Phoebe is gonna hit us with another big heal. I think we're just gonna, like, Poison Breath. Wait, does that actually kill my Spell Shield? Okay, that does nothing. Ruin Strength. I feel like my game is slowing down. Alright, he has 1 meter. And Dispel. Alright, he doesn't have any buffs on him. Alright, I don't need to heal again. So let's innervate Phoebe. So that way I can get another Spell Shield eventually. Alright, let's try to walk again. Gore, which hurts a lot. Right, I'm poisoned. He's almost got 2 meters, which is bad for me. Okay. He has no buffs. Let's just hit him as hard as we can. That did nothing. And Phoebe's dead. I didn't want to defend! Oh my god, I just wasted action. I can't afford to waste actions like that. Him starting with Twister is probably the worst possible thing he could do. Dude, he's not even out of his first phase. Alright, just use a Phoenix down. Okay, that's doing nothing. Alright, mouse attack. Phoebe's gonna have to heal. Alright, if this doesn't work, I may switch my plan. Because I think that having Lena may work better. Alright, let's pilfer, because he actually does have an item. A Mega Elixir. And he's gonna ruin my strength. Alright, Zelta, just Plague Strike. Of course not. Yikes, even with Fortitude, he hits like a fucking truck. Alright. 4. Of course. Is his evasion, like, insanely high or something? Alright. He is out of phase 1. So let's start buffing. Alright, his debuffs stay along with the hemorrhage stacks. Firaga. Good. Alright, Phoebe doesn't need to heal right now, so I think what I'm going to do is use Shelter. Yikes. And he destroyed my buffs. Alright, Malicious Flare. On my next turn, I am going to use an item. Let's use... I am actually just going to use one of these now. Okay, I'm silenced. Yeah, my game is actually slower right now. I don't... Alright, let's nullify Zeltas debuffs. That will unfortunately remove Shell, but that's a small price to pay. Alright, Ruin Vitality. That is gross. Please hit him with Flare. Alright, that's doing less damage. I don't like that. Alright, let's use the Shadow Walk. Vacuum Wave. Yikes! I at least lived. Alright, Nullify on Garrett. And Phoebe will heal herself. Alright, Malice hit him. I'd like to get an attack off with Zeltaf. Let's embolden again. Wait, did he get rid of my debuffs? Yikes. Alright, Phoebe's gonna need to heal on her next turn. Big heal. Or you could just kill Malice immediately while I'm trying to heal. Thanks, dude. Alright, I can't afford to waste my turn on healing, on attacking right now. I have to heal Malice. Because Malice is my main damage dealer. If he's down, then we're losing turns. I can't afford to let this dude hit who'd kill me. Alright, I'm gonna use my X potion. Really? Why is his damage output so insane? Alright, heal. Alright, and... Alright, let's use this. And meanwhile... Shadow Walk. Okay, that hurts. It's gonna ruin my vitality. And then we'll flare. The fact that I have to waste all these turns healing... No, I want to protect you. The fact that I have to waste all these turns on healing is getting in the way because I need to be doing damage. Alright, now I think what I'm going to do is we're going to go for the Soul Strike. Oh my god, it really is slowing my game down. I don't even have anything open that's really going to cause my game to slow down. Oh my god, it's so bad, dude. Alright, Dispel. And just do ludicrous amounts of damage to my whole party. Thanks, dude. Alright. He's still not out of his second phase. This dude has ludicrous amounts of health. My god. Alright. Garrett. Try Nightshade Poison. Oh, he can be hit by ailments. He still murders you. Well then, that's interesting. Alright, that's nothing. Zeltaf's basically only gonna do damage with Soul Strike. Alright, phase 3, Dispel. That's bad. Alright, let's revive Garrett. Yikes. Okay, good. Alright, Zeltaf. He has nothing I want to remove right now. I'm actually going to use... Do I have an item that I can use to heal the party? I have a Mega Potion. Actually, let's just use this. Alright. Oh no. No! No, no, no! You're not allowed to have a speed boost, dude. I can actually set up another spell shield. And there go my buffs. I'm actually gonna take the opportunity to use Blade Barrier. Wow, it feels like I've never used these skills until now. Alright, let's heal. Let's use a Cura. And he's going for the speed buff, which he can do freely because slow is not affected. You're not protected from slow by the ribbon, because the ribbon is half an item apparently. Alright, let's try and nullify that. There we go. Alright, now let's get back to it. I need to nullify his speed buff that he doesn't need next turn, because holy shit, he's already so fast. Yeah, my damage is nothing. And he's gonna lower my speed. Alright. Our freaking passive damage is nice. Alright, let's innervate Garrett so that way he can get energy back. Do not slow my... Well, that's fine. Alright, nullify his speed boost. And then get back to attacking. Garrett being slowed is a bit bad, but we're gonna have to just deal with it. Let's try a Gloom Poison, see if that does anything. Oh, okay, that buys me time. That's perfect, that buys me time. We love to see it. Heal Malice. Nice big heal. Alright, we don't have enough yet for a Soul Strike, so let's attack. And then Malice attack. And he's gonna dispel my boss. And then immediately hit me with Flood for ludicrous amounts of damage. And then, alright, since I know the Gloom Poison works on him, let's do it again. It didn't give me the debuff I wanted. Alright, just heal. Oh my god. Could you please not spam Flood, dude? Alright, I'm actually gonna Spell Shield now. Then Mouse attack. Phoebe will heal on her next turn. We have enough for another Soul Strike, so I'm gonna do that. The first possible chance. Alright. Lightning Breath. Alright, we got 2 evades out of that. That's perfect. Alright. Heal up. I wish there was a way to passively regain energy without needing to attack, so I'm just gonna Elixir Phoebe. Alright, Malice, him with a Flare, and then we're gonna Soul Strike him with Zelta. Well, actually, I don't have an aura up anymore, I think. Oh my god. Garrett is dead. Alright, Soul Strike him again. Oh my god, game, why are you slow? I don't know why it's doing this. Honestly, I don't have anything that would cause the game to run so slowly when it was running fine before. Considering how long this fight is taking, I may not have... Okay. Dispel on who? That's fine. That's not fine. Alright, revive him. And then we'll like Shadow Walk or something, I don't know. Malice, keep attacking. Basically, my plan at this point is, if we can get Soul Strike, that seems to be one of the big moves we can do to do lots of damage at once. So, right now, I don't have enough for a spell shield or something. So just slap him. Okay. Simoon. Yikes. I don't have enough energy yet. So let's Shadow Walk. Phoebe will big heal the party. And then Malice hit with Flare. I'm gonna need to give Malice another elixir soon. He's gonna need it. So I probably will just use Zeltat's turn for that. Swipe. Okay. Blade Barrier really come in clutch there. Alright, let's actually do it now. Let's give him the elixir now. And then Garrett... Try and paralyze him. If I can buy a turn, that'd be... Oh, fuck me. Uh-oh. Yikes. Well, Garrett's dead. Alright, hit him. I'll use Zeltat's turn to revive Garrett. Alright, let's... heal the party. Probably didn't even need to do that. I probably could have used the single target heal. And there go my boss. Alright, let's just use a regular revive on Garrett. Oh, because he's dead immediately. I can't afford to have Malice wasting turns. He needs to be attacking every turn. Alright, we can Soul Strike now, so I'm definitely going to do that. And Ruin Magic, that's fantastic. Fuck you too, dude. Alright, big heal. The extra HP I'm getting from the big heal is definitely helping. I do wish there was an item that revived at full HP. Because the moment this dude uses a... There it is. The moment he uses a group-wide attacking move, Garrett's dead automatically. And he seems to have quite a lot of those. Okay. Stop. Do not. Fuck right off with that shit. Alright. I don't have enough for a full revive. So I'm gonna have to do is using... Never mind. Well, this is a problem. I need to use a Mega Elixir now. But if I do this, then Garrett's still gonna die. Ruin Magic? Okay, that's fine. Because now I can revive Garrett at full HP. Okay, now I can stop wasting turns. Could you please stop doing that shit? Alright. Hit him with the Soul Strike. On Garrett's turn, I am going to use a remedy to heal Malice. Because Malice needs to stay on the offensive. Also, my game is slowing down to insane degrees. It definitely either is my PC or it has something to do with the fact that there are 2 limit break gauges on the screen at once. Alright. Thundaga on who? Okay, perfect. Alright, so Malice is back in action. He's not stopped anymore, so I don't need to worry about that. Alright, this should be his final phase. I don't have enough energy, so I think what I'm going to do is use the Mega Potion. So that way I can use... Oh, no! No, no, no! Stop! You're not buffing up, dude. Heal. Full heal the party. Jeez, this is actually taking a lot longer than I thought it was going to. Okay, we can set up shields too, which is perfect. So, get rid of that buff. Wait. Alright, yeah, he's like debuffed to hell. Alright, never mind. Change of plans. Set up a Blade Barrier just in case he starts doing some shit. Wow, it's almost like I expected to start doing some shit. And look at what happened. He immediately starts blowing me up with meteors. Also, nice 4 HP. Alright, I need to heal Phoebe because she's like the most essential member of this team right now. And then she can hit up the big heal. So Mala, I could use another spell shield, so I'm probably gonna do that on Phoebe's next turn. And then Garrett will throw up an item on Phoebe because she needs the MP. Okay, dispel. I don't care. You can't dispel my blade barrier. Actually, Zeltaf's not doing anything either. He's literally just sitting around waiting for limit break gauges, so I'm just gonna use his turn to have Phoebe guzzle down that. And then we'll use Garrett's turn to have Phoebe guzzle down another one. But oh, what is Void Blast? It's death! That's what it is! Okay, so he's now whipping out all the most dangerous moves he has in his arsenal. Oh, and Garrett's probably dead. Oh my god, I need to fucking heal again after this turn. I could use my last Mega Elixir, but I don't think it's worth it. The only saving grace about him spamming Meteor is the fact that him doing this is building up my meters. I don't have a Mega Potion, so I'm gonna just use a freaking regular heal. Heal Phoebe, she's more important right now. And then Zeltaf needs to get rid of that slow. Alright, good. Another one? I mean, Garrett's dead. So is Malice. Alright, well, that's a problem, so we're gonna have to Divine Light right now. Okay, perfect. Alright. What do you have on you right now? I need to get rid of those buffs. Alright, let's try and fish for a poison. I mean, paralyze. Oh my god. That one paralyze I got on him was definitely a fluke. Wow, I lived on one, but I'm going to die anyway because I'm poisoned. Unless I use an item. I didn't mean to do that. Well, bye, Garrett. Because I can't afford to heal you right now. Alright, dispel. His gauges are building up, and he's going for the meteor. Garrett's dead. Alright, I need to heal first. That's the priority. We need the big heal. Sucks for Garrett, but I can't afford to revive him right now. With Phoebe's turn. Odds are likely he's just gonna spam AoE attacks, and then Garrett's gonna die again. Or he can just kill my healer with Flare. Yeah, okay, thanks. Fuck you too. You know what? I'll use my last Phoenix Tear. And then once Zeltaf gets a turn. So, as I was saying, once Zeltaf does not get a turn because he just decides right then and there to kill me. Fuck you too, game. Okay. Wow. I was at the end of the fight too, and then he killed me. That's so dumb. You know what this means? I get to go do the whole fight over again. Hopefully he doesn't immediately click Twister on the first 2 turns and kill my whole party. Oh, this is gonna be a fight and a half. I can see now why the advised level is 55+. Well, I could go and farm a couple of levels. Because I don't see a way of how I'm going to win this without sheer power. I could just forego Garrett entirely and just use Lena. Because I do have a plan for Lena. But Lena's even lower level. And she has no defense as well. Like, this party is very lacking in defenses. What's my formation looking like? Alright, I have an idea. No, he has way too many AoEs. It really doesn't matter because of his AoEs. And I think that's where the problem starts. Dude has so many AoEs that formation doesn't matter. He's just gonna hit you no matter where you are for ludicrous amounts of damage. But if I put everyone in the back, I'm spamming Flare anyway, and I'm only ever attacking when I use Soul Strike. He still one-shots my whole party, though. Like, if he uses Tornado, my whole party's dead. Twister, whatever. Alright, let's try it like this. So I'm gonna try and get back to the last phase, so I'll be right back. Alright, I made it back to the final phase. So, what I've been doing differently is... Alright, yeah, by the way, the game's slowdown isn't because of something I have running. It's literally the game doing it. I had my recording program paused, and it's still running slowly. So I think it has something to do with the game itself. I do think it has something to do with there being two limit break gauges on the screen. But I made it to the final phase. So the main difference between the first step and the second one is I've been constantly keeping shields up. Whenever Phoebe's not healing, I have her set... Okay, that's a free turn. I have her setting up Shelga or Protectia for extra protection. Like, right now, this is the perfect opportunity to set up a Shell. Because he's spamming OP magic. But I'm going to set up a Protectia when I get an opportunity. For Aura, I'm going to switch to Fortitude just so we have more defense. Because we got a free turn. And he's spamming Meteor. Oh my god. Yep, that's going to be a heal turn. Let's try and fish for another... Of course not. I'm actually going to take this opportunity to use the Spell Shield instead. Just in case he tries to hit me with a Meteor. And then we... Phoebe always wants to use Kurava. Never use any other heal besides Kurava. You want the extra HP you get from Kurava. With Zeltaf, I have been using Taunt to get the HP barrier. That's really the only reason I'm using Taunt. And then the Absorption barrier is also nice for more defense. Phoebe hasn't lost her... Okay, good. It's a good thing I had Spell Shield up, otherwise I would have probably been dead. Phoebe always has... Still has her Phoenix Ring up, so she will survive one Fatal Blow. Alright, go for the Flare Spam. I am going to use Phoebe's turn to set up another Spell Shield, just in case Ray Bomb comes. And there go my boss. Real shame. Oh no, okay, we're alive. I can't go for it right now, I have to heal. So like, if everyone but Phoebe dies and I have enough limit break gauges to use a big heal, we can do that. Alright, we're just gonna defend because I need energy for another heal. And then Garrett's gonna slap a elixir on Phoebe so she can continue to heal. Oh no, well, bye mouse. Though that does allow me to use a Soul Strike. Alright, I'm actually gonna say, fuck that, let's set up a Spell Shield first. That still hits you? Are you kidding me? That's some bullshit. Alright, let's get Malice up first before we get back on the offensive. I luckily have not needed to use any of my Phoenix Tears. And then Garrett's gonna... I saw the Mega Potion, so I'll use that. Oh no. Wow, okay, just fuck Malice, I guess. He's just not allowed to live anymore. He's picking the right target. The meteors are hitting the perfect target because I can't flare spam if Malice keeps dying. I need him to spam if we want to win. Do not. Well, bye, Garrett. Oh my god. And he's gonna get another move off. Alright, let's... Okay, fuck Garrett. Alright, now let's get back on the offensive. We need this guy dead soon. Alright, and Zeltath, go for the Soul Strike. The slowest Soul Strike in human history, but we'll get the damage off. That's what's important. Then once I get free turn, we'll revive Garrett again. But the thing is, he can kill you so fast and so easily. Whoa, are you kidding me? No. It just gained a whole fucking meter out of that. Alright, that's fine. Fortunately, Flare ignores defense. He's just gonna wall again. Okay, fine. And then he's gonna... What is going on? Why is he suddenly so fucking speedy? Alright, Phoebe, heal. And now on Zeltath's turn, we'll use our... Mega Phoenix. Unfortunately, it doesn't fully heal, so he's gonna get an opportunity to do that and then kill my whole party. I'm honestly kind of impressed that Zeltath survived that. Honestly. Alright, let's just Mega Phoenix again. Okay, that's perfect. That's a free turn. I don't have enough for fuck me sideways. Alright, well, then change of plans. No one's getting a turn anytime soon, so I'm gonna have to use my last Mega Elixir. Oh no, that's bad. Alright, we need to get buffs up now. I wish I had enough energy to do that, but I can't. Alright, try and Fish Repair. Why am I not allowed to do anything in this game? Oh, dead! Of course! Why does this keep happening? It happened in Instance and it happened here. 99,000 EXP and 1,000 JP and maxed out money. Ah, thy power and tactics and spamming are truly superb. If the powers of the Varimancer cannot be bested by mere mortals, what hope hath Mantarok? Give me just a moment, I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. To commemorate your incredible victory, I give you this, a symbol of supreme power and mastery. Use it well. Do I have the... There we go. The hammer knife. We bow before you, O mighty ones. We are not worthy. We are not worthy. Alright, so for going through all that hell and wasting tons of items, we got the hammer knife. A hammer and knife in one. Unlimited uses. The hell is that supposed to mean? Alright, I need to go find some scrub lord to go murder. To test this out. Clearly this is something we can use in battle. If we beat the ultimate boss, then Mantarok should not be a threat. Well, except for the problem of I'm gonna have to use everyone in the party to fight him. Alright, let's go to our usual spot. Wherever the fuck it was. Oh great, here we go again. Alright, here we go, over here. Let's go to our usual spot. And test this bad boy out. Do I need to heal? Yeah, no, probably not. We should be fine. Alright, let's get into an encounter. I don't have the Mew Charm on, but let's see what this hammer knife does. I swear, if this was... this wasn't worth it, I'm gonna be so mad. Alright, let's see it. This sounds like an item we can use in battle. Alright, what's it do? Oh, so it's just a win button. Thanks, dude. And Phoebe can just slap the enemy. So it's just a win button. you serious? So for beating the ultimate boss, we literally get a win button. I mean, that fight was brutal, and I had to use a lot of items to get through that nightmare. So honestly, getting a win button feels like a worthwhile prize for going through that mess. And because the game slows down so hard, it took far longer than it should have. So since that fight took far longer than it should have, it doesn't seem like we have time to start the final dungeon. But the problem with the final dungeon is there are 12 boss fights in there, and we have to use everybody, which means I need to prepare everyone. We also got a lot of JP, so we're gonna have to use some of it to up our stats some. But if we could beat the Godslime with this party, Mantrock is gonna be nothing. He'll be free. Plus we have a win button now, so I mean, I don't know if the win button's gonna work on Mantrock, but who knows. I'll come up with strategies though. So I will be using my points on everybody, considering we have to use them all, and optimizing them as best as I can, because next up is the final dungeon. Side quest skippers rejoice, we're done with the side questing. All that's left is 12 boss fights to get to the final boss. So that should be great. 12 boss fights. How bad could it possibly be? I beat the Godslime, so I'm in 12 dudes, even though I have to use my 4 nosebleed characters. Well, we'll find out next time. Off screen, I am going to dump basically all my JP, because since we have a win button, regular encounters don't matter anymore. So, next time, we'll finally start in the final dungeon. So I will see you then.